All right. I just keep coming up with whatever things I want to talk about, and here's another notion. I like to use the word notion. No, I made a video earlier about toxic masculinity being a myth in 2024, and I have an addendum to that video. I call this video Toxic Masculinity. Anyone who says that, or let's just say the expression of that and the idea of that and what those two words together mean and what they do and what the implications of that, the idea of men being toxic and all the, let's see, the attributes, the symptoms of this kind of talk is the ultimate gaslight of a healthy society. In other words, to some better lighting here, to espouse toxic masculinity as such, and to subscribe to the notion that a man in 2024, assuming you're on the most toxic end of the belief of toxic masculinity, working out, toxic, that's an abusive guy, a dumb guy, whatever. Like going to the gym, that's number one. A man who says no and believes that women and men are not equal. In other words, to be chivalrous, one has to believe that men and women are on different planes. In other words, while women, it's a new society, we have women are working more, all this and that. That can be conflated with the idea that women are men. And anyone who believes that is misogynist, is truly a misogynist, is truly actually on the farther end of someone who doesn't care for women. A man's duty is to provide and protect. And as we have a more pussified culture, men are not seen as valuable. We have to create a need for protection. When there isn't as much violence, which is a statistical fact, there is less violence than there's ever been in society as far as, robberies, stuff like that, like actual killing violence. And going back to the ultimate gaslight in our society, which is the notion of toxic masculinity, it is a gaslight in that it makes you feel crazy. If you can convince the male population that they're toxic, their morale, that's the root of all destruction of a healthy society. I did not realize on learning about, I thought it was a jovial thing, trauma bonding. I thought that was a whatever, you had some trauma and then you're bonding. Like, no, it's dark, deep, and actually pathological and unhealthy. Just like, I'm bringing that up because toxic masculinity, there's certain things we're accepting in society that we're like, whatever, that's just them, let them do them, let's just do this. We have gone way too far, and it's time to be men again and to say no. That is our job, is to say no. That is protecting women by saying no, having boundaries. At the end of the day, as long as we are biological creatures and the AI and the singularity and all this shit hasn't happened and we're not actually cyborgs, we're getting close. But right now we're at a what do you call it? It's a paradigm shift, or right in the middle of it, potentially. We're at the crossroads. It's a very exciting time, but a scary time, where we are forgetting our humanity at the same time as this technology is ramping up. And if we're not careful, we're going to have so much more suffering I don't want to be too hyperbolic. I do believe this though. I see it. I am sick of not saying anything about it. And when the going gets tough, men are the protectors. And it's on us. Any man watching this, get it together. Like in your own, you don't need anyone. You need yourself. You need your, as a man, it's in all, you don't need anyone's permission. You're a man. Do the right thing. Say what you mean what you say. Have principles. Think of our daughters and our mothers. What would these people want you to be when they're being their best selves, and you look at your daughter and you think of a world that you want her to live in. You want strong men. You want virtuous men. Do you not? That's who you want her to be with, right? That's a man who cares about women. That's a man who cares about society. Looking at a little girl and seeing a world where she can thrive and be protected and be loved and be cared for. And toxic masculinity as a notion is dead. It is literally the gaslight of the century. It is, I think I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, and I guess I don't care. Whatever. Talk about wherever I'm fun. It's a place I grew up. I've only known liberal ideals. The reason I'm bringing that up is I imagine it's varying degrees of, depending on how strong your family is, how strong your morals are. Your will, your character, your support systems, your whatever. But I think it's starting to permeate into all aspects of American Western society. The toxic masculinity not trap, it's a gaslight. It's literally will make you insane if you buy into it. And anyone who says that it's childish, it's all a big paradox. If you can keep men weak and you can keep the man child, the guy who doesn't stand up, then he'll capitulate. But I see it for what it is now. It is the ultimate gaslight, and it's hurting society, it's hurting people, it's hurting women, and then those women are hurting men, and it's creating a gender war that's not real. It shouldn't be real. It's all smoke and mirrors. We're overcomplicating things. We are conflating temperament and strong women, quote unquote, very, the testosterone in women going up as they work, as that's natural. In the same way it went up when men went away to war and women had to work the factory jobs. It went up then. Probably had a lot of, I don't want to get into, I'm going to say something messed up, but I don't need to go there. But it's unnatural, it's unhealthy, because at the end of the day, I don't know about women, but I can tell you, for men, testosterone is the most beautiful thing that we need to encourage again. It creates strong men, it creates happy men, it creates virtuous men, it creates creativity, it creates literally the most creative thing you can do in the world. Creativity is the answer to slavery and conformity and darkness, is creativity. That's how we are connected. And the most creative thing you can do is create a family. Having kids is the most creative thing you can do. And testosterone is necessary in that. It creates a strong foundation for the family at the end of the day. So to be anti-man and to be anti toxic masculinity is to be anti-life and anti-flourishing and anti-family and anti-human. Don't have kids, but we are looking at a very hopeless and nihilistic future that is permeating in society and is now reached a point where it's time to step up as men. So, yeah. I guess I can end the video here. I wasn't planning on holding the camera all the time. My arms get a little tired. But yeah, it's all the men out there. I love you. Be strong. Do difficult shit. Get up early. Eat right. Respect yourself. Say no. Keep moving forward. And for the women out there that believe men are toxic and have a vendetta against us, that's fine. That's natural. That's why men are men and women are women. We won't hold a grudge. We accept the challenge. We are providers. Anything that is said and used against men to be weaker is just a test that we're going to pass, and we'll forgive you for it. We love you. We'll hug you. We'll love you. We'll still protect you. We don't need to be thanked. We don't need to be loved. We don't need to be anything because we're rising to the occasion. And the more hate now, it's so backwards that I'm retraining my brain to flip any of that stuff into the opposite. In the same way haters are your biggest fans, women, you're just our biggest fans. Us virtuous men will love you anyways and protect you anyways because that's what we do. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you later.